Welcome to cooking cheap, easy, and tasty meal. Okay, today we're going to make a quick chicken curry. I have some leftover rotisserie chicken and I chopped it up and froze it, and I want to use it today. We're going to start off by turning on our pan, and since it's a ceramic pan, I'm going to let it heat up slowly, and then I'm going to move it up to a hotter temperature slowly so that I protect the surface. This is a green pan, which is a really nice ceramic pan, but you do have to be a little more careful. The advantage of ceramic over the other nonstick is there's no outgassing from the ceramic pan, which is probably healthier. But ceramic does take a little more prep. The ceramic pan will run a little hotter. Other pans don't seem to transfer the heat quite as well, but the ceramic does pass the heat, so you have to be careful about the temperature you use. Watch the cooking temperature, because it will cook faster, or at least at a hotter temperature. So, plan accordingly. This is a induction cooktop, so it should transfer the heat pretty quickly. I'm gonna get this up to about 7.5. Let it finish warming, and I'm going to add a little olive oil. Actually, a fair amount of olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and add my onion. This is a whole onion. You could use less if you don't like onion, but I actually in curries like to have a lot of onion. It helps fill it out a little bit, and I like the flavor of cooked onion. I'm going to just let this cook a little bit. I'm trying to use pretty simple ingredients. I'm not going to make my own curry powder. I'm going to use curry powder. I've got turmeric powder, all that I bought at the store. Chicken was pre-cooked, vegetable stock or chicken stock. I'm going to use vegetable stock, but you could use chicken stock. It's better than bouillon. I'm just using vegetable stock because I like the richness of the flavor. Chicken stock would certainly be fine. Obviously didn't chop this up terribly good, but it was kind of a rough chop, which is okay. Now I'm going to use flour in this. If you don't want to use wheat flour, you could probably use corn flour or cornstarch. Just have to be a little cautious about the effect on the moisture, because it'll suck up the moisture so much. You may be able to use other flours. I haven't tried it with like almond or anything like that. I'm not sure how that would work, but it might work fine. But you want something to thicken the base, and that's the general idea here. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crush in some garlic. So let's just put a couple of, oh, it's a little too much. You could use a little or a lot. I like garlic, so I'm going to put about 5 pods in here. They're medium sized, so it'll work out to about 3 or 4 large pods, probably 3 large pods. But I do like garlic in a curry. I like garlic in anything, pretty much. Okay. And I'm going to cut that. This has been a really good garlic press, I guess is what you would call it. It's been really good. It's done a really good job. It's easy to clean. It minces the garlic real well. I've been real pleased with it. I think I got it on Amazon or something like that. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon. It seems like I got a lot of this stuff over a few years. But I tried a couple others, and I wasn't as happy with them. I'm sure there are other ones that are just as good. Okay, we're going to let that cook for just a minute. You don't want to overcook the garlic. It'll get a little bitter. You want to be careful about cooking the onion. And we could cook the onion a lot longer if we wanted to, but I'm not really trying to burn it or brown it or anything. I'm just trying to get the rawness out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the turmeric. We're going to stir that around a little bit. We're going to add the curry powder. We're going to stir that around a little bit. Get that mixed in with the onions. Put a little broth in to Let us mix it in better. All right. Now, the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and add the meat in so I can start soaking up the flavor too. So I chopped it up pretty thinly. You may want your curry to have chunks. I'm using pretty finely chopped, well, except for a few pieces I missed, obviously. Now we're going to also add a couple of tablespoons of flour, which will help thicken it as it gets further down the line. And we want to cook this for a minute before we add the stock, because we want to cook some of the rawness out of it before we add anything else. A couple of minutes is about all you really need to do. Here's, I got garlic all over everything. That's all right. All right, now I'm going to add the rest of the stock. Get that mixed in real well. And then the last thing we're going to add, a tablespoon of tomato paste. Now, since I'm using such a small quantity, I went out and got the tube of it so that I don't waste a whole can of it trying to get 1 tablespoon out. And I'm going to get that down in there and let it cook a little bit. And then get it mixed in real well. And I'm going to turn the heat down at this point, down to fairly low. All I'm doing is really trying to make sure I get the tomato paste really spread throughout it. Okay. Now, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of additional water because it's a little thicker than I want it to be. Mix that in it. I've put on a pot of rice. I have a rice cooker. I added a large clove of garlic and a tablespoon of butter to cook it. And hopefully we'll have a nice garlic rice to go with it. And I have some pita bread to go with it. So we're going to let that cook for 15 minutes or so at a low temperature, and then we ought to be ready. Okay, after about 20 minutes, it's ready. I'm serving it over rice. This is garlic rice with a little pita bread or flatbread, whatever you choose. And I put a little parsley on top. Looks really good. If you have any questions, just send me a message. And if you try it and you like it, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. Have a good day. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a like. Thank you.